So yeah, we just almost had a little kerfuffle there. It was a bit of a funny thing. I was trying to bring the mouse back over to this screen, the one that I use over here for using OBS to record and our audio and everything. And then we have the main screen that we watch up here on the wall. And whenever I brought the mouse over, the mouse basically hid in the very top corner, and I couldn't find it. I was like, what the heck? Where is it? Where's the mouse? It's supposed to be over here. And then I went back over here. I was like, wait. Oh, thank God. I thought, the cursor had just, gone into the shadow realm. But thankfully, that didn't happen. So, yeah. Casual Geographic is back. It's been a minute since he's released a video. So, yeah, he's got here, you've never seen animals like this before. So, that's an interesting quandary. I guarantee you these are animals I may know about, but I may not be as, fresh on. And there may be some that I completely just don't know about, period. I mean, I remember it was, I think, 20, 30 years ago, almost nobody knew what a sloth was. Almost not, in the casual mindset of everyday people, no one knew what a sloth was.
Really?
Yeah. But because the usage of the word sloth and the idea and the knowledge of what a sloth is skyrocketed around the advent of the internet. And it's because the sloth is just such a meme. The sloth is literally a meme. The sloth is everywhere now because of multiple memes, because of videos of it literally getting swiped off of a tree by a freaking giant bird, or it falling down and having to start its slow climb all over again, or just the meme of the sloth, or the one from Zootopia, the one at the DMV is hi, how may I help you? Yeah. So, yeah, anyway, we've got here more, we got more brain, sorry. I got mental fog today. I'm not sure what's going on. My brain's all over the place. So, we've got You've Never Seen Animals Like This Before by Casual Geographic. Let's give it a watch. Let's see what's up. Here we go.
Ma! Ma, come outside. There's a f***ing moose! Or a buffalo or some shit. They're fighting.
Aw. Oh, you better.
Do you know what this is? I bet you don't. Chances are, most of you have never seen this tree chonk before. I'll tell you in a second, but first, quick question. If you had to take a blind guess.
It looks like a lemur's much meaner, much more rough and tumble cousin.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like, oh, you dare call me a lemur, you son bitch.
How many species of mammals do you think are in the world? Think of all the ones you've seen in your entire life and try to imagine what number that would add up to. The answer? 6,495. And counting, and that's just the mammals. Add in animals in general, and we're talking millions. Which brings me to my next point.
Armadillo?
Armadillo.
Like that.
Armageddon.
Illuminati. From Madagascar. What the is that? Damn, that's from Madagascar. Something from the Bronx. Oh, that's super nasty. One of the is right there on 14th
That's
Street.
not real. What did he say?
He said, he saw that, he's like, oh shit, that's one of them motherfuckers on 14th Street. Crackheads, basically.
This man is a wordsmith. Laugh at my mans all you want, but understand, if school doesn't teach it to you, and you don't see it in a zoo or on National Geographic, and it's not the animal of the week on Reddit, you'd have no way of knowing some animals even exist.
You alright?
It's the garbage, Lord.
Which is why I can personally guarantee that you haven't seen or heard of all 10 animals in this video. You might know 3 or 4, Animal Planet veterans might get 6 or 7, and hey, some of y'all might know 8 just from watching me long enough. But I promise you there's gonna be at least one animal I talk about that you've never heard of before. I put that on my hairline, and I wear this hat every video for a reason. So let's make a game out of it. If I show you something new, you lose, and you gotta comment what animal was the one to stump you. And for 90% of y'all, the game—
Alright, I'll do that. I will do that, there, Casual. I I will comment the one that I didn't know. The first one I didn't know.
Name ends right here. Because what do you think this is? Some kind of monkey? Maybe an obese lemur or an AI-generated sloth? You're not gonna believe this. It's a koala. Okay, not really, but koala's actually closer than anything else I said.
It's a
This
marsupial.
porky, dead-eyed struggle monkey is the bear cuscus, and despite looking like nature made it on a dead
I've heard of a
Cuscus.
bear cuscus.
Yeah, I've heard of a cuscus, but I've never heard of a bear cuscus.
I've heard of the bear cuscus, but I couldn't remember what they looked like.
line with spare
So,
parts, it's actually
I think it was Jack Hanna that had a cuscus back in the day on his show.
Right, I remember that.
And so that's how I've heard of the regular
Damn,
cuscus.
you're bringing that back. Damn.
a marsupial. This thing that looks like a Madagascar understudy is more related to kangaroos, devils, and quokkas than it is to any lemur. And that's
Quokkas are cute. Quokkas are effortlessly cute.
about as much as we know about them because we haven't been able to figure out much more. They've essentially been gatekept from the rest of the world, only found on the Indonesian island of Sulawesi and remote islands nearby. We have no clue how many overstuffed tree chunguses or chungai are in circulation. Currently, only 4
Chungai.
zoos have this monkey sloth on its roster. Even its name is an identity crisis since cuscus means possum, meaning on paper, you're looking at a bear possum. But its Latin name is Allurops ursinus, and I didn't take Latin in high school because French was too sexy, but I'm pretty sure that means cat bear. Basically, not even science had a handle on what this off-brand koala was. And they have the same meal plan as them, and since they eat nothing but leaves, they virtually spend their entire lives on quarter playback speed. In fact, this great value lemur spends 5% of its day eating and 63% resting. That's 16 hours a day eating and recovering from eating. That is load management, and boy is this tree chonk a load. They'd probably be cute if their eyes didn't disturb me on a spiritual level. This is cuscus that
It looks like it's staring into my soul. It literally looks like it's just like, I saw what you did last night. God was watching. And I was watching.
has seen some shit. And clearly they never recovered since they're painfully shy and will even cover themselves with leaves if they see you first since they're terrified of humans and only live in the most isolated areas of the forest. Also, this is a Dalad bear cuscus and they're a lot cuter, but it also looks like a wombat that got severely laced. Being highly rare tree-loving marsupial introverts, it makes sense that you've probably never seen them before. But the next animal is probably the biggest one you've never heard of. This animal has been called 6 dissimilarities, and it's because it honestly looks like a wildebeest, buffalo, bear, and friends all did a fusion dance and this was the outcome. This
Yeah.
absolute unit is a Talkin, and they can stress the scales
Okay, a talking. I did not know about this one.
Yeah, me either.
up to 800
I think
pounds
I've
of
seen
pure
one
confusion.
before,
The
but I
Talkin-
wouldn't have been able to tell you what it was called.
Okay, how do you spell that? A Tawken? Hold on.
Either that or Tokken. I don't know.
T-A what?
Tokken.
Talking
I don't know how to
cow.
spell
Okay, hold on. How do you spell that? Ah, Takin.
Oh, okay.
Takin. Okay. Takin. Okay. That's it right there. And as you can see, it is on the vulnerable state. So they are damn. They are vulnerable. So did not know about the Takin. Did not know about the Takin.
Had to guess how to spell it too.
is essentially a giga goat, with their closest relatives being the mountain goat and the
Oh
shepherd.
shit! Sorry.
It's not on the screen and it's not
Oh.
full
Your
screen.
confusion. The Talkin is essentially a giga goat, with their closest relatives being the mountain goat and the chamois. And yes, the mountain goat isn't an actual goat because that makes sense. The Sichuan
I like how you
actually
googled
shares a
cow
range
and
with the
it's
giant
apparently
hen, and they
closer
use
to a
that note
goat. Too.
Yeah.
to heat up
Some
air
of the
before it
animals
gets
are
turned low.
confusing looking, aren't they?
Yeah.
That nose job of necessity also makes it look like a moose that got too cocky with a beehive, which is no joke how they were first described by scientists. I want
A bee-stung moose. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Hold on. Wait, did he just show how to spell it right there?
Which is no joke how they were first.
Yep.
Damn it. He did. Oh crap.
First described by scientists.
Full screen.
Yep. Fuck.
I don't do this for every animal, but its Latin name, Budorcus taxicolor, means badger-colored cow ox.
Budorcus.
Interesting. Talkins also
Budorcus.
sweat oil that smells like burning rubber, and they use this to mark their territory. They're not known menaces, but they do have their moments. In 2007, a Talkin broke into a man's house and injured him and 8 other people, one of them a pregnant woman. And in
Well, that's
2018,
fucked up.
during a routine visit from the vet, a
Well,
Talkin
goats can be aggressive. I mean, my granddad got hip checked by a goat one time. As in, like, the goat was, like, about this far away from my granddad. My granddad was out there, like, giving it food and everything, just minding his own business. All of a sudden, that goat turns its head, just, like, hip checks, and he's just like, ow! You little shit, you're lucky we need you for harvest.
Yeah, but typically a goat, like from out on the farm, wouldn't just break into your house and start injuring everybody.
Yeah, exactly, which makes me think that this guy is, like, on some Black Air Force energy.
It's on some cocaine or crack or something.
Yeah.
Man.
He wasn't having it anymore, busting out his enclosure doors and wandering the zoo for an hour, injuring 2 workers in the process. Basically, he's not a killer, but don't push him. Same thing with the next animal on this list, which might be the second biggest creature
Nice Tupac quote there. I ain't a killer, but don't push me.
you've never heard of. Because the tapir is endowed in more ways than one.
I've heard of
but
the
we'll get to
tapir.
that,
Yeah.
guidelines willing. It's a giant plus-size river pig that's actually closer to horses, rhinos, and wild asses. Oh, and donkeys too. They're also the national animal of Belize. Shout out to Belize if y'all out there. There's 4 types of tapirs, and the Malaysian one might just strike a nostalgia nerve if you ever played Pokemon. Because Drowsy was actually based on the travel-sized Oreo elephants of Asia. According to mythology, this tapir was associated with the Japanese Baku, and the Baku were said to feed on the dreams of people, especially nightmares. The IRL tapirs are pretty chill for what they are, even though they can get into the neighborhood of 700 pounds. But they have the dental facilities to bite clean through your arm, so they're definitely one of those F around and find out animals. One family found out when a tapir nearly ripped a 2-year-old in half during a
Such a goofy.
That's a face only a mother could love.
supervised visit in a Dublin zoo. But for the most part, this boneless river rhino is just a flaccid-faced, gentle giant that I kind of wish the world was more aware of. I mean, just look at the teeth on this little guy.
No.
You can't tell me that's not cute. Speaking of babies and where they come from, tapirs must have made a deal with the devil we don't know about. Since they have a 5th leg long enough to use as a tripod,
Holy
or as a
shit.
DIY back scratcher. When it comes to herbivorous mammals of the world, the tapir is the real cock of the walk. And to cleanse your eyes from that unsolicited salami stick, I give you the sensei bunny. It's actually
Oh, such a funny bun. Look at that.
He's round.
So chunky.
a rodent called a viscacha, and its closest relative is the chinchilla. The sensei bunny just makes sense, especially since this is their default pose.
So it's a
And it's 'cause
chinchilla
where
bunny.
viscachas live is chilly. It's also kind of cold, so they spend every morning sunbathing and waiting to provide advice to anyone who
I
requires
get what
it.
he said
Also,
there. I was like, wait, what? Oh, Chile.
Chile, yeah.
Yeah.
As in the Andes Mountains, Chile.
It's
So,
a Chilean bun bun.
yes. Southern Chile gets dangerous,
I want to
dude.
touch his belly.
I do too. Want to scratch
Really
it.
belly.
I really wish I didn't waste that Chungus joke earlier, because, come on. It's
Yeah, exactly.
If I bought one, if I was able to keep one, I would name it Chungus. That'll hold him my way.
right there. And the reason they look like a vertically cheated but horizontally divided obese wallaby is because, like the chinchilla, the viscacha has some of the densest fur on the planet. Also, I'll be honest, I knew about the viscacha.
That means they're super
I did
soft.
not know they could move like that. That's an actual sleeper build. No, like literally, they look like they were built to sleep when they're.
Right?
It's like,
He's just like, I'm going to work for 37 hours.
ah. Gone.
Not passing judgment. This is the look of an animal whose natural predator is a P-test. Brother is faded. But yeah, that's a gotcha. And by the way, if you didn't lose the game already, this next animal almost guarantees you will. Cause yeah, there is an animal in this picture, and it's possibly the cutest thing most people know nothing about. And that's cause not only is this animal nocturnal and lives in the Amazon equivalent of a penthouse, during the day, it's sleeping in the silk cotton tree camouflaged as a seed pod fiber. And that's how the silky anteater got its name. Because when your biggest ops are eagles with some of the best vision on Earth, that is the best you can do. Like the rest of the anteater family, they have claws. And unlike their cousin the sloth, they actually know how to use them. A sleeping silky will nap with its forelegs and claws right next to its face. Really not that different from dozing off with a knife under your pillow. They also can eat 5,000 ants a day, and they use that sticky barbed tongue to skewer and trap their protein. And since anteaters have 0 teeth, they have stomachs like bird gizzards designed to grind the ants down. Proof that beauty is subjective, because what's cute to us is a harbinger of death and genocide if you're an ant. But I'm not an ant, and you probably aren't either, so let's just take some time to marvel at this pocket-sized baby-faced dollar brand sloth. He's not the only token from South America on this list. Cue the Hollow Knight. This might look like a regular run-of-the-mill bird, but this little dude has one of the coldest pickup lines in the game.
Did it just fart?
I think it's like call.
That is a club-winged mannequin singing a love song with his feathers. Basically, this small bird from Central and South America has modified flight feathers, and by vibrating them, the mannequin shoots a shot with a specialized sound that varies by bird.
Wow, so it's its feathers that did that. Damn.
Just the way it leaned down and stuck its butt up in the air while it did it, I was like, did it just fart?
With solid violin impression, others sound like fireworks on the 4th of July. Also, they make this sound by shaking their feathers 100 times a second, twice as fast as a mascot for ADHD, the hummingbird. And they do all this while dancing. They're really the birds.
Hold on.
And they do
stop. Hammer time.
Do all this while dancing. They're really the Michael Jackson of birds. I'm not gonna pretend like I know everything. I didn't even know they existed until like a week ago.
It's like a Lindsey Sterling bird. It's like dancing and playing an instrument at the same time.
Oh my gosh, you know? Yeah, that's I guess, you know, if they ever make a Zootopia 2 and they put this in there, you know who has to voice her. You know who has to voice that bird.
Yeah.
Lindsey freaking Sterling.
That would be
You heard me, Disney. Get on it.
Disney will never take good suggestions and do good stuff nowadays. What are you talking about?
Rats. You're right.
Hey, this next animal might not exist, period. Also, I know the whole crab thing has kind of become a meme, but we're going to have to talk about how many animals endgame is a rabbit. This is the second animal here that isn't even remotely related to them, yet still
I've seen one of these before.
The
I can't remember
bilby is another marsupial, meaning this and snarl.
It's a pupper.
Hey.
How'd you get down here?
I think they let him down here just to get him out of their hair.
Probably, because he's up there borking.
Hey, Asher.
Why are you upstairs borking?
Asher, lay down.
You can come up here if you want to.
You want him up there?
Yeah, you can be on the camera.
Okay. Come on, Ash. There you go.
Here's an animal you've probably seen before.
Yeah. The Asherus, the Bigorus Asherus. He is quite the chunker.
Also known as Puppercus dogicus.
Oh, them big scratchies. He loves it. He loves them big scratchies. Oh, and he's gone again.
Orlax monkey are basically family. The greater bilby can be found in the harsh, arid deserts of Australia. Now you might be asking, is there a lesser bilby? And yeah, there was. And now they're dead. So clearly not good enough. The greater bilby's not that far behind since they're endangered, which is pretty wild for an animal that only gets pregnant for 2 weeks. Not even exaggerating at about
Asher!
14 days, bilbies have one of the shortest cook times of any animal. They're also a close relative of the bandicoot. Yeah, that's a real animal. The more you know. But yeah, greater bilbies used to inhabit 70% of Australia, and today they're barely holding on to less than 20. And a big reason was humans airdropping threats like foxes and feral cats. But these days, the word's been getting out about the plight of the appropriation bunny, and they can thank the sale of chocolate
the little
bilbies
outline on the side. It looks like a
So
fairy.
good.
It looks like a fairy. Like, go back.
It does with the friggin' ears being wings.
Yeah.
About the plight of the appropriation bunny, and they can thank the sale of chocolate bilbies on Easter. Easter bilbies started in '93, and they've been
Easter
part of the culture
bilbies?
ever since. It's only
That is funny.
right that they replaced rabbits, since rabbits are one of the things that got the bilby population in the mud. But today, there's well over 3,000 of them. Not great, but they're not in the worst spot. They're not as down bad as
Asher,
animal number
lay down.
8, since there's only...
Asher, go on. You want up there? Get on up there, bud. There you go. Now lay down.
Lay down.
Lay down, buddy.
Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. He's like, no.
Asher, lay down, bud.
Yeah. He's like, hang on. I might have to go bork in a minute.
No borking.
No borking.
Lay down.
You've been
Only
doing too
hundreds
much
of them
borking
left.
this evening.
Yes, you have.
Too excited.
Asher, lay down.
He's not going.
All right, let's just keep her going then, I guess.
on the planet. Nobody would blame you if you went your entire life without seeing it, since they're shy, endangered, and the only place you can find them is in special underground caves in the Balkans. The Olm is a salamander that's blind, vampire pale, and happens to be one of the most fundamentally confusing animals in the world. First of all, they're not born blind, but they lose their eyes a couple months after they're born and even grow a layer of skin over them.
It's got
Yet
like
they
the
can
little
still
fan things like an axolotl.
Yeah.
detect and avoid light. The Olm can go a whole decade without food by storing important nutrients in their liver. Usually when we talk about animals that live the longest, you're looking at relatively bigger creatures like elephants, whales, and tortoises. This tiny blind salamander has a lifespan more comparable to us at about 70 years, and scientists believe they can max out at well over a century.
Damn.
Still isn't anything on the Greenland shark.
Yeah.
You heard about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
For reference, there might be an Olm salamander right now that was alive when World War I popped off. A reason for this is, unlike Archduke Ferdinand, the Olm has 0 enemies. There was even one Olm on record that straight up didn't move for a whole 7 years. The man
Damn.
That's impressive, dude.
Second challenge was in 2016. Bro just never stopped playing. Olms don't be rushing for anybody, which is why they wait once a decade to get laid. Yeah, they only breed about once every 12 years, which is probably why there's only an estimated 400 in stock. They done protected their piece so much that their whole community finna rest in it. And for animal number 9, you're gonna have to hear me out. Hyenas aren't unknown at all, but out of the 4 species of them, the brown hyena is by far the rarest and least talked about. Which sucks, because they're actually one of my favorite
looks like one of
predators
those
in
little,
Africa,
like,
because I love
long-haired
me an underdog.
chihuahuas.
They're not
Yeah.
really great hunters and will often get checked by lions and even their own
Bye.
small cousins. Not to mention wild
I like how
dogs
he's
and
walking
jackals.
up and he just saw them and he's like, oh crap.
And then the lions are just like, fresh meat, fresh meat, fresh meat.
We're like,
Get their
oh, a
whistle
snack
on
just
their
walked
dogs.
in.
But brown hyenas are also major kleptos that'll pocket kills from their competition. Sometimes they'll body a 5v1 against cheetahs and walk away with their food and their pride. 2 things I think are pretty dope about them is 1, even though they're not dogs, brown hyenas have a social structure a lot like a wolf pack with the 2 parents and all their kids. And number 2 is that they managed to turn an abandoned town into a nursery. There's an old ghost town in the Namibian
Whoa.
desert that has no trace of humans, yet brown hyenas use the desolate houses and empty mines as dens to keep their kids in while they go grocery shopping,
Oh.
which can mean up to 20 miles of walking a day. One famous hyena mother has apparently lived in these forgotten ruins for 15 years and even raised 9 generations of cubs.
Damn.
And counting. Moral of the story,
It's so
hyenas
fuzzy.
deserve better, and Simba really ain't shit for putting them out like this. But that ain't even close to how hard humanity has violated the last animal here. This isn't a raccoon, skunk, or a cat. It's one of the members of the cat side of the carnivore family, specifically called feliform, which makes this result of an over-the-hedge orgy more related to
I
hyenas than
remember.
they are
I've
to
seen
the
this
raccoons.
before.
I have too.
Can't remember what it's called though.
I was gonna say the Tasmanian tiger. Have you heard about it?
Mm.
Supposedly it's back now, and it was thought to be extinct for almost 100 years.
They cosplay as. The African civet is only one
Ah,
of
the
over
civet,
a dozen
yeah.
species
Yeah, I know about the civet.
of civets seasoned across Africa and Asia. The raccoon colorway is actually a form of camouflage since the patterns break up their outline and makes it harder to spot them in the bush. You might not have seen them in the flesh and fur, but you might have heard about them, especially if you drink coffee, because the world's most expensive
Kope Luwak, I knew it. I knew it. Oh my god.
Let me guess. Something to do with their poo.
and gate-kept coffee, Kopi Luwak, is made from the coffee beans found in the poop of the Asian palm civet.
Yeah. So they do the same thing with like bats, don't they?
For some fertilizers, yes, but For Kope Luwak, the thing with it is the fact that when it comes out, it's the one reason why I can't eat paydays anymore. The candies. That's why I can't eat paydays anymore. Because it looks exactly like that. No, I know. Just the mental image hurts.
How they literally put 2 and 2 together to come up with that, I don't want to know. And of course, this demand could lead to civets being captured.
It's like those
caged.
videos I showed you. It's like, where on the chickens you get the egg from? Yeah. It's like, where on the cow did you get this from? Like in the milk. You know?
Where'd you get it from?
It's like, this is the best coffee I've ever had. And it's like, oh yeah, I want to sell it for a lot of money too. And it's like, where did you find it?
Where'd you find it, man?
What?
Why aren't you saying anything? Where'd you find it?
The Civic. Nothing.
At the civet enclosure.
What do you mean? Where'd it come from?
Funniest one for me was from...
I dug the beans out of its poop, okay? They were still
Yeah.
intact. It came out of its poop.
For me, the one that gets me is the one from the movie The Bucket List. Jack Nicholson, the entire film, is like talking up Kope Luwak coffee, the most expensive coffee in the world, and he's just like, this is truly divine, and anyone and everyone in the world should try it. Delicious. And one of the check marks on the bucket list was laugh until I cry. And the entire film, Jack Nicholson had been talking big shit about the Kope Luwak. And then at the end of the film, Morgan Freeman's laying there on a hospital bed, and he's just like, and he's in the midst of like organ failure, and he's just he's ready to go in for surgery. He's like, Edward, come here. I have to tell you something. And then he pulls out a National Geographic article about Kope Luwak, and he hands it to Jack Nicholson, and he opens it up, and he reads the whole thing. He's like, Kope Luwak, the coffee most famous for its specific taste, gets that taste from the gastric system of the civet that devours the raw berries and defecates the beans in bundles. You gotta be shitting me. And then Morgan Freeman at that point, he's just like, too late. The civet beat me to it. And he started dying laughing. And literally he laughs so hard he starts crying. And then he pulls out the bucket list. Check. That's such a good movie, man. It got shit on for a long time, but I think it's actually a pretty good flick.
I never really heard anybody shit on it. Always heard it was good.
It is. It's very, very good.
Coffee beans in order to supply. Full disclosure, I don't drink coffee, so I really wouldn't know, but there's no way it can be worth it. And it's not even the only civet to get its brown eye exploited by people. That was a wild sentence. Civets produce a musk, this white, nasty smelling stuff that scientists like to call civet butter. Civets use it to mark their territory, but somehow people figured out they can use its butt glands for perfume, specifically Chanel No. 5. And
Yep.
they get the juices they need by scraping it from the civet's pink balloon knot. So if you have some Chanel on deck and it says natural ingredients on the bottle, there's a good chance it came from, yeah. But yeah, civets in general are pretty cool. They can actually be super affectionate when raised by people.
Aww.
And if I had to pick a favorite, I'd have to go with Alston's palm civet. Literally only because I think they're cool looking. I mean, you're gonna tell me I'm wrong? So yeah, that's 10 animals you've probably never seen before. Except when I was making this list, I was stuck at 11 and could not decide what animals
The baby
to leave
ones
off.
are very cute.
Yes, very, very cute.
But then I realized I have free will, and this is my channel, so y'all get a bonus animal and probably my favorite animal on here. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you
Bonus.
the tree kangaroo.
Oh!
Goodfellows tree kangaroo. Like the name suggests, this kangaroo's entire personality is trees. They're mad awkward on land, but they can jump from a height of 3
Wow.
stories and fully tank the fall damage. They're kind of like the cuss because of where and how
Yeah,
they
that's
live.
the one
A
I
lot of
actually
people in
not
the same
have
areas
not
that
heard
have
of.
no clue they exist. But unlike the cuss who looks like the drop bear Aussies keep warning us about, the good fellow genuinely looks like a tree-loving teddy bear. And it's not just them. There's 14 flavors of branch bears, including the incredibly rare tenkyle, with only hundreds of them alive today. And the Wandiwa tree kangaroo, who scientists genuinely believe went extinct after going off the grid for 90 years, until they randomly just popped up out of nowhere. And for y'all that don't understand, it's like the science equivalent of Tupac being alive this entire time in Cuba, proving that when it comes to nature, the
It wouldn't surprise me if he is, although not Cuba. I think he would probably be alive in somewhere like Switzerland. Because
I would think once he started hearing that everybody thought he was alive in Cuba, he would have been like, I probably should get out of Cuba.
yeah,
Know what I mean?
yeah,
the only thing
It's
we
like,
know
what's
for
a random country nobody's going to think of for a while?
yeah. Hold on. Let's see. The Tasmanian tiger. The thylacine. Yeah. So. Oh, it's still registered as extinct. So that was where they used to roam. Damn. Searches and unconfirmed sightings. Yeah, sorry. It's just the thought of like the Tasmanian tiger. I couldn't remember if it was
sure,
confirmed
that
or
we
not.
really
The
don't know much
Tasmanian
at
devil's not extinct. is it?
No. The Tasmanian devil's very much still
It's
alive.
just the
all.
tiger.
But that's gonna
Yeah.
do it for this video. Make sure to check out my TikTok and Instagram for more consistent uploads as you wait for the next video. And if you'd like to support this channel even more, becoming a patron on Patreon earns you access to exclusive content, videos before I post them, and you can even help vote on my next video. In
That's
fact,
nice.
if you're already a patron, you probably voted for this one. But like I always say, it's more for like leftover money you're not gonna miss. Don't feel like you have to give anything, because really, if you watched the video this far, you've done more than enough. But make sure you drink water, hug your mother. Do let me know how many animals I stumped you on. I'm actually curious. And I'm gonna see y'all
I think
in
three.
the next one.
Three, or
Three,
four?
I think. Yeah, three
got
for
me,
me.
got 3 or 4 for me. But it's pretty good considering, like, you know, just learning about animals is one of my kind of hobbies / pastimes.
Yeah. Well, I am very much like that video, man. That was very, very good. And it's, I like being stumped on this stuff, you know?
And I like seeing the ones that I knew about but haven't, like, thought about in a while, too. You know?
Yeah, that's true as well, yeah.
It's always cool to be reminded about the unique animals that are in the back of your brain somewhere.
Yeah. God. So, anyway, I don't really have anything else to add. Great video, Casual, and I'm hoping that, you'll continue to keep being creative and everything. And if y'all want to find our comment, it's on his video, so feel free to look for it. So, yeah. I guess until next time, everyone, signing off. I'm Nate.
I am Nick.
Y'all take care. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.